Hey, I'm Liz, and this is Pancakes Makes. Get comfy, and let's hang out for a bit. Welcome back to my Building Stardew Valley series. For this second episode, we'll be focusing on Stardew's most lovable mountain man, Linus. Well, I should say that he's seen as lovable by many players, but for some reason, he's treated quite poorly by the other NPCs. The townspeople are wary of Linus and don't really interact with him much. Even at festivals, he's usually off by himself somewhere. Now, being apprehensive of the quote, wild man in the woods isn't really the nicest, but it's somewhat understandable. Unfortunately though, just avoiding him is not the extent of it. Over time, as you talk to Linus, he'll reveal that apparently there have been multiple instances where people have thrown rocks at, spray painted, and destroyed his tent. Go ahead and call out in the comments who you think is doing this and why. Hey Linus. A stranger? Hello. Don't mind me, I just live out here alone. You know what, man? I don't blame you. Humans are overrated. Living off the land in the mountains sounds like a nice way to live. So now that we've seen the inspiration from Stardew Valley, let's create something with this in The Sims 4. Although Linus lives in a tent, and we technically have those in The Sims 4, I didn't just plop one down and call it done. Linus deserves better than that. Instead, I built an A-frame structure so that it still looks like a tent, but we can actually go inside. Using an open entrance with curtains instead of a solid door helps it look a bit more like a tent. I spruced up his fire pit area with seating made from natural objects he found in the woods. In-game, he spends a lot of time either near his fire or at the lake, so I imagine he cooks a lot of fish in this area, and I decorated this spot to reflect that. With the landscaping, I kept it very natural looking with overgrown shrubs, grasses, and trees. In his dialogue, Linus is very respectful of the natural world, so I don't believe he would do much to change the landscape unless it was absolutely necessary. Although in Stardew, Linus doesn't have a bathroom and cleans off in the lake or rain, that's not practical in The Sims. I kept this area minimal with bushes instead of a toilet and handmade looking plumbing. Since Linus rummages in the trash a lot, I also included a recycling machine so he can upcycle what he finds. Linus is quite in tune with nature and shuns modern life. So I made this lot off the grid and put in some eco-friendly appliances, including a water collector, solar panel, and wind turbine. I included a horseshoe pitch as an off-the-grid way to fulfill his fun need. It also looks like it could be something he crafted himself. Linus is more of a forager than a farmer, but I included space for gardening in case you'd like to use it for herbalism plants. I think Linus would definitely be into that. Or if you just don't want to forage for all your food. Inside the tent is quite small and simple, so most of the living space and activity areas are outside. Linus sleeps on the ground in a green sleeping bag. To replicate this with what we have in The Sims, I use this inflatable bed. He also talks about reading a lot, so I included plenty of books for him. In his tent in Stardew Valley, Linus has a small cooking area set up with a portable camp stove and some pots and pans. We don't have this in The Sims, so I did what I could to make a rustic looking kitchenette here. And that's the whole build. I think this definitely has a similar vibe to Linus's tent in Stardew Valley, while also giving him some quality of life upgrades and making it more playable in The Sims 4. Now let's take a look at how Linus gets on here in live mode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button. I have plenty more builds in the series coming, so if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Remember, be kind to yourself today, and I'll see you next time.